In the year of our Lord 2020, Season 2, Episode 21. 68 times this face and or this voice has welcomed you to the Cheap Popcast, your one-stop shop for all things professional wrestling. We're so glad that you are with us because it's a very special day in the history of this show. Welcome. My name is Rob. I am the executive producer of the Cheap Popcast. And man, it's been kind of a quiet week in our sport, but we've still got plenty to talk about. Alex is out on assignment in his least favorite state in the union this weekend. He'll be back late tonight. We hope he gets here safely. But nobody filling in. So this week, it's not just me, I promise. It's cool. Joining me across the desk in the co-host chair is the official fact checker of Sooner or Gator Productions, and a man who is a man who knows a man who is a man. You may know him as Ig Bunu, but his mama named him Don Ford. I'm going to call him Don Ford. Hey, brother.
William Regal. I'd like to meet him someday.
He's a man's man. That's a whole different man.
You know, and speaking of, hey, I got my awesome shirt on.
That's a good looking shirt.
Nice plug-in, you know. Sure you can find it at prowrestlingtees.com/the Cheap Popcast.
And we might have something. We need to sell just a few more shirts, and we could add more designs, and we might have a really cool design to share with you guys.
I might have to get that for the Fantastic Fate Forward. But
absolutely.
Hey, I got something for you.
Yeah.
Dose.
I told you guys just a moment ago, it's a huge day in the history of this show. It was 2 years ago this week, come Wednesday, that we did our very first show with Vocal. So we want to say thank you to Vocal. We are at the Vocal Studios in North Dallas / Addison, Texas, in Studio A. We are so thankful that we get to be a part of an awesome group of people like the people we have here at Vocal. And it's just getting nothing but more awesome. We have 2 pay-per-views in the next 2 weeks, so stick around for that. Joining us, speaking of Vocal, out in the hallway is our engineer and the host of Big 12 Chalk. He is Jay Gillespie. Hey, brother.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Man, could this be a more beautiful day in the Metroplex?
I know.
Holy cow. I walked out for church this morning and I was like, hello, autumn. That's not supposed to be here till tomorrow.
I'm not complaining, though.
No way. Autumn is my favorite time of year.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, it was still up to 100 and stuff. And now, you know, I really like it because, one, my electricity bill is going to go down on the house.
Brother, preach it.
Yeah, okay. And number 2 is the, what do you call it? It's not light at 9:30 at night.
I don't like that either.
I hate that.
I need it dark by 7 o'clock when I'm eating dinner. The sun needs to be down. This should be federal law.
And my thing is, which makes me mad, is how they moved back the daylight savings times, and I understand why. But, you know, they should do it before Halloween, so it's night at 6 o'clock.
It's Halloween night this year.
Is it? Well, no.
That Saturday night is when you turn your clocks
really?
back. Mm-hmm.
So it should be before then.
And as I know you are the fact checker, but I have to check you on this because you know how I am with grammar and syntax. It is daylight saving time.
Okay.
It is not savings. A lot of people think that it is.
Okay.
But you are saving daylight. You're not putting daylight into a savings account.
Okay.
So it's daylight saving time. Even though I hate it. I hate daylight saving time.
Yeah.
I want daylight standard time all the time.
And real fact, do you know who brought that up? Whose idea that was?
That was Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
Because it was about farmers.
And do you know another thing, though?
Jeopardy, what's up?
Time zones. Do you know why time zones were so important?
The trains.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I learned that a couple years. I just learned that a couple years ago. The whole thing with
my
the trains.
Family. Yeah. Grew up in BN, so. Mm-hmm. All right, pro wrestling.
But did you also know that China is all one time zone?
Really? Mm-hmm. And at one point there was
the biggest countries in the world, all one time zone.
But one time Soviet Union was full. It was like almost 12 time zones, if I remember right. You know.
See, we're teaching you stuff on this show. You're like, can we get to the wrestling, please? Yes, we can. Couple of interesting headlines this week from our sport. Melina may or may not be headed back to the company.
Really?
There are conflicting rumors that she could show up this week, on either Raw or SmackDown.
Okay.
My assumption would be Raw because a part of this whole Asuka.
Mandy Rose, too.
Well, Asuka and with the Mickie James thing, which we'll talk about here in a minute. She is saying she's not signed with the company, but could be.
Which means she is.
She is.
Okay.
But go ahead, Don.
Do they bring back Eminem?
One of them don't work for the company.
Again, do they bring back Eminem?
I don't think Joey Mercury comes back.
You wouldn't think so?
He's burned some bridges there.
Oh no, I mean just a thing.
I mean, putting her with Johnny.
Yeah, to
because
date.
Well, they used to be together, and now he's married to Taya Valkyrie. So they might have to put her on Raw so they're not on the same show. But I want to read this verbatim. Jay, did you see the story about The Rock yesterday? Jay, are you out there?
He's go getting food right now, probably.
All right, we'll wait for Jay because I'll show him the picture when he gets back. So on his official social media yesterday,
Okay, The Rock.
he posts the following.
All
And
right.
I'll get Jay to come in here and look at this. Starts out, not my finest hour. But a man's got to work, with a face palm in the middle. We experienced a power outage due to severe storms causing my front gate not to open. And this is also on our Facebook page if you want to follow us at the Cheap Popcast. I tried to override the hydraulic system to open the gates, which usually works when the power goes out, but this time it wouldn't. Made some calls to see how fast I could get the gate tech on site, but I didn't have 45 minutes to wait. By this time, I now have hundreds of production crew members waiting for me to come to work so we can start our day. First of all, shout out to The Rock for putting that in there.
Yeah.
Because he's The Rock.
Yeah.
He's the people's champ.
Yeah.
So I did what I had to do. I pushed, pulled, and ripped the gate completely off myself. Ripped it completely out of the brick wall, severed the steel hydraulics, and threw it on the grass. My security team was able to meet the gate technician and welders about an hour later, and they were apparently, quote, in disbelief and equally scared, unquote, as to how I ripped it off. Not my finest hour, but I had to go to work, and I'm 100% ready to be Black Adam.
Oh, boy.
So, Dwayne Johnson, who we love.
Oh, yeah.
How can you not love this man?
Yeah.
Highest paid actor in Hollywood, I think the third year in a row.
Something like that.
That's work ethic, people.
Yes.
Jay, are you back out there yet? All right, he may not have his headphones on.
Okay.
We'll wait for Jay on that. But, yeah, that's your big story from this week.
You know what? It's real quick. Two weeks ago, I was Labor Day weekend. I was having the pastor over for the barbecue, right?
Big fan of your pastor, very nice man.
Okay. Yeah, and doing the pit boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which you are a master of, by the way.
Well, I kind of screwed up the ribs. But what happened?
You just screw the ones up I ate.
I know, but that day I did. I put in the small ones a little bit early. But okay, here's the thing: the 3 a.m. that's Saturday night, Sunday morning, because it's going to be Labor Day. Sunday night.
Right.
Some drunk driver hits a pole and knocks down the power lines.
Oh.
And so all of our side of the whole block was like gone, the whole cul-de-sac, except the people across the street. They actually are in a different grid. They actually were not hit at all.
Oh, wow.
So this old lady, it's Karma. I always do the lawn for this old lady across the street named Barbara. She's 84. I always do her lawn for her twice a week. Every 2 weeks. Okay.
Respect to you for that.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? My fridge was about to go bad with all that food because it was still like noon. And this is 9 hours later. The power was still out. Yeah. So I went in to plugged in 3 long extension cords to her outside plug and took all the wires, the extension cords clear to my fridge in the kitchen, and then another one to the pit barbecue so I could get the barbecue going.
So that's electric?
Yeah. Those pit bosses are electric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that would make sense because of the pellets.
Yeah, because the pellets go through. Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So, but actually, I was able to do with some, across the street and everything. I had to tape down the extension cords on the street.
Of course, because you got to be safe.
Yeah, but it was kind of like, it was till 1:45. It went out 3 a.m. 1:45. Almost 12 hours.
Almost 12 hours.
Yeah, the power was out, and they actually had to replace the whole pole on the side of the street. That's how bad it was. But yeah, okay, back to the rest of it.
Did I tell you I got a new apparatus in my garage as well?
What's that?
I have a smoker now.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I got a master built. It's got the door on it.
Oh, really?
We did a pork loin in it. I'll show you the pictures after the show.
She got the Pit Boss. They got one of those too.
Right, but I've already got a grill.
Okay, well, Pit Boss actually has just the smokers.
Right, but what I'm saying,
yeah,
it wasn't. I didn't buy it. It was bought for me.
Okay, well,
so it's a digital electric.
Okay,
which was amazing.
Yeah, I like those things now.
So my mom got us one of those. She got us a cover for it, and she got us 4 different kind of wood chips. So we did a bacon wrapped pork loin in it, and it came out fabulous. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some smoked wings.
But try brisket sometime. I know you.
I'm not a big brisket fan though.
Okay,
I'm very picky when it comes to brisket, so I got to work my way up to brisket.
But I love the Pit Boss. I love those things. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's get into Raw. There was not a whole lot. There was no headlines for Raw this week. So let's get right into it. Hey, we're going to have an ambulance match next week.
Really? On Raw? That's like tomorrow.
No, next week at the pay-per-view.
Oh. Who's in it now?
It's Drew McIntyre, maybe Randy Orton in an ambulance match.
What do you mean maybe?
Because the stipulation is it's an ambulance match, but Randy has to be cleared by the doctors.
Which he will be.
Monday night on Raw, the thing was McIntyre was taking on Keith Lee. And if Keith Lee won the match, he would replace Randy Orton if Randy was not
In the thing.
Physically
Yeah. Okay.
cleared.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
To which my next note was, anybody else think this won't be a triple threat next week?
So
I am saying this. It will be a triple threat ambulance match for the WWE title next Sunday at Clash of Champions. Gold Rush.
Now, is it Clash of the Champions or
You're right. It's Clash of the Champions.
I think they changed
See,
it.
if I say it, then you have to say Gold Rush after.
Okay,
Let's try
okay.
it again. It will be Clash of the Champions.
Gold Rush.
No, you have to wait till after I do.
Okay.
It. It's like an echo thing. Okay. It's Clash of the Champions. Gold Rush. I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, I heard they did change it to Clash of Champions. If I remember.
Did they again?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Aleister Black's eye patch is back and then gone again.
Yeah. What's the deal with that? Is that like the Rey Mysterio? Is it fashion?
So did you?
Fashion.
It could be. Well,
Okay.
his wife is very fashionable.
Well, yeah.
Did you hear about this Asuka Mickey James thing?
I did, and I saw the quote finish.
Right.
Is that what we're talking?
So what happened was Asuka puts the submission on Mickey James. She wasn't hurt, but she sold it so well that the ref called the match. So my note was, it's a rough moment when you sell a move so well the ref calls the match because of it.
And here's the thing: when he was going down to check, or how the refs will put their head down to try to talk to the. If you go back and watch that footage, at that time, Asuka's shoulders were on the mat, and she was being pinned by Mickey at that time.
But he was on the other side.
I know,
and
but
had
still,
the vantage point. I mean, it was.
I
agree with you. There's a bunch of different ways they could have gone with that.
Yeah, any good ref would see. Hey,
but that shows you why Mickey James is the first ballot Hall of Famer too.
Yeah,
because she sold it so well that the ref thought she was injured, which I thought was great.
So
she's taking this completely in stride. She's been very, very nice about it.
Now, here's the thing: was she supposed to lose, or was she?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay,
she was still supposed to do.
So
the job,
Asuka was supposed to keep the belt somehow, some way.
Right.
Okay. So she would not have been a new champ. So okay, they do this, they do that, but it could add to it where they could add where she gets another rematch, saying, "Hey, I wasn't out" or whatever. I mean, who knows?
And you get Melina involved.
Yeah.
So, did you notice anybody in the crowd at Raw Underground this week, Don?
No. Because it's been about
apparently somebody is not signed to another company that perhaps we were thinking he was. Pineapple Pete was on Raw Underground this week. Shug D was in the crowd at Raw Underground on Monday night.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So what, do you think he has a contract now?
I don't know.
What have you heard on that?
All he's done is he has tweeted, "Yep, I was there. You don't know where I'm going to wind up next."
Because I watched about 10 seconds of Raw Underground before I fast forwarded.
I try not to, like, if we're not going to do a show, I will fast forward anything that's not angle development.
Okay.
Because there's so much content to take in.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially now with the schedule I'm working. I'm almost a day behind consistently.
All right.
Because Raw's 3 hours on Monday night. And I'm in the office Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm basically working 11, 12-hour days, not leaving till at least 7:30.
What time
Central
you get there?
time. I'm supposed to be there at 10.
Okay.
Put it that way.
Okay.
But when you're salaried, you do whatever it takes to get the job done, and not everybody matches your schedule. So it doesn't bother me to go in early.
Yeah.
It's not that far of a drive. I love what I'm doing.
Okay.
I've been there a month yesterday, as a matter of fact. Feeling pretty good.
It's like the Fantastic Faith Ford with her new position with that job now. Mm-hmm. She's probably working 4 hours today, probably on Sunday.
It happens when you're salaried.
But no, she got that new position now where she's cleaning up the things with Siva, and there were invoices that weren't paid due to the company's fault from GM shipping and stuff for GM. She now has a GM account. $5.6 million she found in invoices.
Look at our girl doing things. There is a lot of revenue being generated by your respective companies in your home. I'm just saying. Both of you in 7 digits now.
Yeah. Well, I was at 1.814 million.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But, wow, we really got off track there.
Okay.
But because of that, I don't get Raw started until way late. Okay. So, and then you've got Dark on Tuesday nights, which we'll get to that in a minute. You've also got Impact, which we will be talking about.
Do we have to?
Right after that. And then Wednesday, you've got NXT and EW. Now Thursday, now NXT UK is back.
Okay.
Then you've got SmackDown and 205 Live on Friday. And now Saturday, you've got ROH because now they're back. So it's when we're not doing a show, I'm doing a lot of fast forwarding.
So ROH,
Let's get there. Let's
Yeah,
get to
I know. But
Let's
my
get
thing
to
is,
ROH.
does yours always start late sometimes?
We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
That's actually part of my notes this week.
Okay.
So we have the ending of Raw.
Okay.
With Retribution attacking.
That was the Keith Lee match,
Right.
So there was no decision. Exactly.
Not that I'm aware of.
Either do I. Okay.
I really felt there was a couple of missed opportunities. Wait, WWE booking had missed opportunities?
No.
I'm shocked.
No.
I am utterly shocked.
No.
Yes, it happened.
No.
So we all can pretty much say at this point that the leader of Retribution is one Donovan Dijakovic-Stein, right?
How did that happen now? You already said it a
So-
couple of times. What put it over the cherry on
They're
the
in
tonight?
the ring
Yeah.
attacking both members of this match.
Okay.
How was this not a perfect moment for that guy to be in Keith Lee's face, rip the mask off, and show the world that it's Donovan Dijakovic-Stein? That is a perfect moment for that.
Exactly.
Now, we also know, if you look close enough, and it is her, Mia Yim is one of the two females. The others we've determined is Mercedes Martinez. For those of you that don't know, Mia Yim is outside of the business Keith Lee's lady friend.
In real life, okay.
So I wouldn't do both of those at the same time because Dijakovic-Stein is his best friend.
Yeah.
They came up through ROH together and everything else. And you could really make Keith Lee the focal point of leading the WWE side of it, which is why I believe you put this belt on him if this is the direction this is going.
Keith Lee.
Yes.
Okay.
And now, but then the Hurt Business comes down and they're going to help out. So I'm like, so are we trying to make them face because they're now the security? That ending was a train wreck.
Why did the Hurt Business come down?
Because they had said they were going to be security. And I the only way you work the heel angle of this is that you Godfather it, where MVP walks up to spare security guy tomorrow and is like, I took care of you. You know me a favor. Like, then okay, now you're still heel. But for them to be attacking Retribution with two faces in the ring, it was a very strange ending.
Okay. Yeah, them doing quote security. They can't even touch Richard Jewell. Let's just be honest.
Okay. Ooh.
I mean, seriously, but he saved lives. That's what I'm saying.
He's a killer.
No, I'm saying in real life, he saved lives from what he did. You know.
But still.
Okay. Did you ever see the movie though? It just came out on HBO.
I have not. I know it's on HBO Max.
You gotta check that out.
Yeah, I've got a lot of things to check out.
Okay.
If you take last week's AEW Dark and this week's AEW Dark, 22 matches.
Is that all?
11 last week, and there will be
11 this week.
This week's show ran just under an hour and a half.
For 11 matches, it's not bad.
Thank God, because I saw that. I'm like, this thing's going to go 2 hours,
and I'm
going to be angry.
Yeah. Any matches worth noting on that?
Well, here's the thing. Is it supersized when it runs this long every week? It's not supersized if you're going to be 2 hours every week, Excalibur. You're just now getting on my good side, dude. This week's suit. No, it's not supersized because it's this long every freaking week. 50 minutes. If that. It's based on dark matches. Who does 2 hours worth of dark matches?
They got to solve this thing. I mean, it's cool that they have these.
When they were traveling, you had 3 matches on dark.
Okay.
That was it.
Because they didn't have everybody, they didn't travel everybody the whole time and everything.
Exactly. So you had one before the show, before Dynamite. You maybe 2. You had 1, maybe 2 after. So at the most, you had 4 matches on dark.
But here's the problem. They keep on building people to the company. And you got to think about it. Who have they let go?
Well, I can tell you who they haven't signed, and they made a big deal about her showing up for the women's tournament. That's Ariane.
Yeah.
Where has she been? Did we not sign her?
That's
What's
what
going on there?
I mean, they got a lot of people coming in, but do they utilize them? Like, you know.
If you want to establish Dark as their NXT, I'm okay with that. But just say that's what it is.
Yeah, who's the internet champion? Zach?
Matt Cardona.
Well, what was his name?
Zach Ryder, but he's Matt Cardona.
Yeah, Matt Cardona. How many times?
He showed up, but remember, he's only contracted for 5 appearances.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
He's
that.
burned 3 of them already.
Okay.
So
I didn't know what it was.
We really need to figure out what we're doing with Danny Jordan. Like, she can't work. First of all, she couldn't work heel this week because she was wrestling Penelope Ford. I think she's incredibly talented. But her gimmick being the real mean girl, it doesn't work when you're working face.
So what would you do with her?
I would completely redo the gimmick. Find something that's not that, because that gimmick works in the early 90s. It doesn't work in 2020.
Would you put her in the title hunt?
Not yet. She's talented. I wouldn't put her on a Shida level yet.
Okay.
I just believe that she's in the right place to learn the right things. She's got a lot of potential, but you've got to change the gimmick. It's not a good gimmick.
Would you keep Shida as a champion right now?
Right now, yes.
Okay.
There's some things in the works that could work into some things. They've got to find somebody. I feel bad. I'll put it this way. I feel bad for Nyla Rose right now because there's nobody really for her to feud with that you can sell. Like, she and Shida did a very good match together when Shida won the title. But I don't feel you can rehash that again. You have to be able to find somebody for Nyla Rose to feud with. And I think what they're doing with Nyla Rose is they're waiting to find out who the next women's champion is, and then Nyla Rose goes after her.
Now, what happened to Kong?
That was a one-time deal.
Oh, okay. Because, she was on there more than once.
Well, she wasn't contracted. It was a by appearance, and then it was like, okay.
Well, why don't you bring her?
What I'd really like to see,
okay,
because this is going to tie into our next segment, I would love, now, because Thunder Rose is already there. And Thunder Rosa and Shida will be wrestling in a tag team together this week against Ivelisse and Diamante, which I think is going to be a phenomenal match. These four are going to tear the house down. I would love for AEW to sign Allison Kay, because I think that would be a very good program, because Allison Kay is a more athletically built and a taller woman. I think she could match up with Nyla Rose better, and that they could put on a good program. When Chris Statlander comes back after her surgery, I think she could be a good. I think that was probably the original plan, was for Statlander to win that title, and then you've got two bigger women going against each other. And I think that's, again, rehashing Nyla Rose Shida, which I still think could be a good match. I just don't know that we want to go back to the well again on that.
Yeah.
You know?
And my thing is, I always been saying it, and it's not because Britt Baker, when she gets back, they should have put the belt on her before, even after. Because she could do the promo. She could play the heel.
I agree. I don't think she's a great heel.
Oh, what do you mean? That stuff she's been doing at the dental office and Ariba and all that?
But
she's getting over.
For me, when you want to be a top heel, you have to bring, and this is just my opinion, you have to bring something to heeldom that isn't normally heeldom. What Britt Baker is doing, immensely talented. Not gonna say that. I mean, given who her romantic partner is and the fact that they train together, you don't have a choice but to be great.
Yeah.
But she's doing classic heel stuff, but not bringing anything new to it. I'm okay if you work those classic heel moments, but you have to bring something to it that we haven't seen. And the whole I'm so great, and let me tell you something. If y'all don't know who Rebel is, go back and watch her work in TNA. She can go.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I'm waiting for her to break out, because that, to me, is the program we're waiting for.
Rebel versus Britt.
Exactly. Okay. That's the program we're waiting for. Big Swole is good. To me, their styles don't mesh well.
Oh, yeah. I can tell you right now.
So, and that was a fun match to watch. But
you mean the dentist office match?
It was fun.
Okay.
It wasn't great, but it was fun.
Yeah. Okay.
We were introduced to Megabyte Ronnie on Dark this week, who looks like Silas Young, hopefully taller. Because as we know, I am taller than Silas Young.
Oh, yeah. We know that for a fact.
And Silas Young he started this obsession.
And you're also taller than Stephanie McMahon.
I am
with
taller.
Heels.
Well, no. With heels, it's close. It was such a great day.
I know.
You really did a great job that day.
No, we did a good job. That was good.
Well, but no, I mean, you had to set it up. I didn't do anything but show up and ask a question.
Oh, it's okay.
So Ivelisse, now known as La Sicaria. For those of you that don't know, that means contract killer. So adjust your dance card accordingly. Because a Sicario, contract killer, the movies.
Okay.
She is now La Sicaria. That is her bit.
Okay. Contract.
And I don't know what I want more. Which turn I want more. Colt Cabana turning on Dark Order or QT turning on Allie. Because as we saw on Dynamite, that's your next feud.
Which one's QT? I'm sorry.
QT Marshall. He's Dustin Rhodes' tag team partner.
Okay. All right.
But as we saw on Dark, there's something coming there.
Yeah, why did she leave?
Well, I think we're going to find out this week because remember, Eddie Kingston looked at the Blade and said, we need to help you get your house in order. And for those of you that don't know, the Blade is the real-life husband of Allie.
Yeah, because when she left, that broke up the butcher, baker, and candlestick maker, as I call him.
Well, and I don't know if we're going to go. I think that gimmick evolves.
Okay.
I think they're going to do something different with them, but they're going to stay together. Interesting news from the NWA this week, Don.
What's that?
James Storm is no longer under contract.
So where do you think he'll go?
I'm going to ask you first. Because you're wearing El Libro and La Chiquita.
Yeah.
You got the book and the checkbook for a year. What company do you sign him to?
Where's Bobby Roode right now?
We think he's on SmackDown. He hasn't been there
but
in a while.
He's still with the company. But we haven't seen him
he is with the company.
Maybe he's, taking the COVID thing off. You never know.
Well, he was suspended for PEDs for a minute.
Well, yeah, but still, that's already up. The 30-day or even 60-day if it was twice. But
do you go the beer money route?
But you can call it beer money. Unless you paid Dixie a big check or, Impact a big check.
If they still own the copyright to it, they may not.
It all depends.
Don, you're talking about Impact.
I know, but still, it's called legality. Yeah. If they own the,
but
put it this way, Cody,
you're putting Impact and legal matters in the same sentence.
I know, but it's still like, for instance, Cody. That's the best example. Regardless, it's not Cody Rhodes,
but that's WWE, not Impact.
But still, Impact has attorneys. And
the
law's the law.
Let's just all things being.
If they could get beer money, I would go back and make beer money.
I agree with you. I think AEW would be an interesting place for him, but it's too crowded. I want him to go back to WWE. You can name it whatever the heck you want. The Glorious Cowboys or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that because remember, he is also currently the co-holder of the NWA Tag Team titles.
So what is the...
And do you remember who his tag team partner currently is?
Kennedy! Okay, so him and Kennedy are the tag champs in NWA. Okay.
I think you bring them both in. I would split them up. I would be more tempted to put Kennedy on NXT. And I would put him in a program right now with Finn Balor. I think that would be amazing.
Here's what... Okay, if I was Tony Khan... Mm-hmm. I would see what's up with Bobby Roode and see if he could get bear money of them and have him take on FTR.
I would be okay with that, but I don't think Roode's contract is anywhere close to up because we would know by now.
Or he could ask for his release.
Well, he could. But all he can do is ask for it. If I'm Vince and I see that writing on the wall, I'm like, you aren't going anywhere, son.
I'll let you stay at home and not get paid.
Yep. I'd rather pay you to stay at home than have you be on TNT.
Yep, you never know. Okay.
Let's see. Impact. Donna Perazzo has signed a minimum of a 2-year deal.
Do we have to talk?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Because her deal was set to expire next month. And next month is next week.
Okay.
So Kylie Ray is engaged.
Really?
So congratulations. I'd say
Mazel tov.
I've never heard of the guy, but he's an indie wrestler.
Okay.
Those kids seem very happy, so Mazel tov.
Yeah, I didn't even know what the scoop was on her in real life or whatever.
EC3 not working under a deal currently.
Oh, so he's not under contract.
Nor is Alex Shelley, who's one half of your Impact Tag Team champions currently.
So they're
one of them isn't.
Okay.
I don't know about Sabin, but Alex Shelley is not under contract currently.
EC3, so they're trying to push him against the news.
I don't know if Sabin's lost a bunch of weight or if he's just aging rapidly. I don't know what's going on. Have you seen him recently?
Of the Machine Guns?
Yeah.
Yeah,
is Sabin just aging rapidly, or has he lost a bunch of weight?
There might be the look, but they were not that huge when it comes to pro wrestling when we saw him with the ROH.
I'm talking just losing weight.
Okay,
like I don't know. There's something weird about.
He
Sabin
looks a little older. Maybe it's just the aging.
It may be.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, EC3. You have him in. You're pushing him against some Moose.
But he's also been seen backstage at ROH too with that title.
What's ROH doing?
We're going to get there.
Well, we're going to get there.
We're going to get there.
All right.
And for the Good Brothers, Talkin' Shop Mania 2 is set for November 13th. So if you enjoyed Talkin' Shop Mania, you're getting the sequel in November.
So what's Bound for Glory? When's that coming?
Next month. It's always in October.
Okay, that's why
it's October 24th, I believe, the week before Halloween.
So are they actually going to do a pay-per-view? Or are people going to buy it?
Well, they're going to do a payper-view. I don't know if people are going to buy it, but they're going to do one.
I know because Alex said the last one.
some show notes of all the shows, because I DVR shows. I don't watch things. I'll watch sports live. That's the only thing I'll watch live, not sports entertainment. And we're going to get to that when we get to SmackDown Talk. Of all the shows I pity people to watch live, Impact is the one that I feel the worst for people because their commercial breaks on Access TV are forever long. They're 6, 7, 8 minutes.
Oh, on Access. Okay.
It's bad.
I never noticed that because I'm always fast forwarding.
And apparently they're so hurting for ratings that they want us to believe that Moose called Jericho about what to do with a missing title.
That's who he's on the phone with?
You didn't pick all that up?
No, I didn't. I heard part of the thing. Or what would
he said, "Hello, demo god."
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
And he talked about losing the title right after you get it, which he did with the AEW title. Yeah.
Are they?
That happened.
Well, then what's Jericho thinking on that?
Jericho don't care.
Oh, God.
For Jericho, that's free advertising.
Okay.
Let's get into Dynamite. If this is what we were going to do with the Young Bucks, shouldn't we have started AEW with this? Them doing this bit with them now.
Turning them heels or being
and being like, oh, we're against the system. Dude, you are the system. You help run the company.
Was that really Tony Khan back there?
Yep.
In that T-shirt? That's
that they threw the money at. Mm-hmm. That's why they threw the money at him, because that was Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Because they were going to fine him. They should have started that way. Or at least, like, you waited a year to do this, or at least do a better transition to this. I respect the fact that Tony Khan doesn't want to be an on-air character. Yeah. I get that. But there should be some kind of an authority figure.
So kind of GM.
Like a J.J. Dillon or GM or something like that would say, like, I'm fining you. And then they super kick him. Like, I get that. Like, this is not good booking, in my opinion.
Well, never go.
I do like that they're giving Jurassic Express a legit tag run and they're not gimmicking that up. I really respect that. That you could have them just be like a gimmick tag team.
Okay, but
the fact that they're letting them be a legit tag team, keep Marco Stunt to the side.
Yeah, of course.
Because I respect Marco Stunt. He just does nothing for me in the ring.
He's kind of like the mascot for it. But, I mean, yeah, they're a good tag team. And Jungle Boy, great athlete.
All three of them are great athletes. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are just, they're head and shoulders above Marco Stunt. And I respect Marco Stunt. And if you had a light heavyweight division, I think Marco Stunt would be great in that division. He's just kind of the odd man out for me.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, as a tag team, you got Lucha and Jungle Boy, and they're a great tag team. And he's kind of the extra third man mascot manager kind of thing. Again, like I said, but again, if they need a 6-man, then he could pull in.
Sounds like they're trying to develop a 6-man division called AEW Trios.
So they got the TNT, the World Champion, the Tag Champions, and the Women Champion. There's 4 titles, right?
Well, I think they need a second women's title. Okay. A 6-man wouldn't hurt them. ROH has it. It's never defended, but they have it.
Yeah. When's the last time you saw anything about it? Yeah.
We'll get there.
Who are the 6-man tag champions?
You may have to look that up. I don't know who their current 6-man tag team champions are, because it's not Villain Enterprises, because they dropped the titles at the end of last year, and then the whole Marty thing. So I really don't know who their current 6-man is. It what used to be the Kingdom?
Well, who's the current champ?
The current ROH champion? Yeah. Also an excellent question. I know your tag champs are Jay Lethal and
currently Rush.
Rush.
Okay.
It's Rush.
Rush, okay.
And then Gresham and Lethal are your tag team champions.
Okay, and then
the dude from that hangs out with Kenny King is your current TV champion.
Dragon Lee.
Okay.
So, Mexa Squad, Bandino, Flamita, and Ray Horace.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
All right. And the Women's World Championship is vacant.
Right.
Oh, boy. We'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay, so
I used to like ROH.
MJF bullying the ring announcer, that is way too generic heel for him. He's better than that as a heel.
You mean making that one comment or whatever? Well, that's like the Shane McMahon ripoff.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, MJF's a better heel than that. He doesn't need that.
So what do you think about that 10-second match that he had? And I love MJF. You know that.
I think him invoking the name of the Wolf Pack, easy killer.
No, what you
there
think?
will never be another faction that.
Well, I understand
will be
that,
the
but again, what do you think? Him having only a 10-second match.
I feel like we're going somewhere with this, but I don't know. I don't know that I would put him back in the world title picture right now. I think him losing that match. We talked about why that had to happen, why that was going to be booked that way on this show a few weeks ago. If he's going to win that title, I want MJF to win that title at either Double or Nothing or another All Out. Like, he deserves that moment on a major.
The big time. Okay.
Because to me, Full Gear is not a major, but it's their third pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Well, their fourth because they had Revolution. I would like to see him win it at Revolution. I think that would be a good time for him. Right before the spring hits and the big TV ratings and stuff.
So what do you do with him right now then? Who you put him in an angle with?
I think what you actually are gearing him up for, I still think this trios thing is going to happen, and he's going to end up pulling in. It wouldn't surprise me if they end up pulling in Miro.
Really?
So it's Miro, MJF, and Wardlow.
Or Rusev, you could call him.
Well, no, you can't.
Well, for those out there,
those are your
AKA,
those would be your initial 6-man tag champs. And then you could turn Sabian face and have him. I think a Sabian Ricky Starks feud would be a lot of fun.
Okay, I like that idea.
And you know why it won't happen? Because it makes sense. Let's see.
But they're not WWE. Sometimes they do something.
Is it sad that I forgot Matt Seidel was with the company and he was just at the pay-per-view like 3 weeks ago?
Matt Seidel?
Yeah, he's with, and he's super excited to be there, but he is with AEW. He showed up at the Casino Battle Royale and almost broke his knees doing
Then what's he doing on the other?
Stay with me.
Okay.
Stay with me, Don.
Okay.
I like that you're ahead of me.
I thought you were like moving ahead or something like that.
No, he's with AEW.
I don't.
He showed up at the Casino Battle Royale, and there's so much smoke
Yeah.
that had like made things moist. There's that word. That he slipped off the top rope and almost hurt himself within 2 seconds of showing up. You can see it out there.
Okay.
Let's see. And I got to be honest, I enjoyed that street fight very much.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great street fight. And JR says the best street fight he's ever called.
But I love how they ended it, though.
That was funny.
Especially the mama with the
They had to convince her to do it.
Oh, really?
She didn't want to do it. And it was funny because all the guys were like, they love her. And they were saying backstage that she was being great. And she was actually giving parenting advice to some of the guys that had
No, is that the real life mama?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Some I'm tired.
And those two, Best Friends is an amazing tag team. And if they don't have those belts by the end of the year, there's something wrong. They need a good run. They deserve a good run. I want them right now. They should be the number one contenders, in my personal opinion.
Should they have got it before FTR? Because don't get me wrong, FTR are
no, because you had to finish the angle with Proud and Powerful first.
Okay.
And so now that we've done the gimmick match, we've done that angle is over.
And now you got Tolia helping them win against Jungle Boy and Lucha with the
What
pole.
I would like to see at Full Gear, I would love to see at least a triple threat, if not a 4-way.
For the tags?
Mm-hmm. FTR, Young Bucks, Best Friends, and probably Jurassic Express because you'd need 2 face teams and 2 heel teams, and I don't think Private Party's ready yet.
Okay.
Let's see. NXT this week. There will be a takeover. We talked about this about a month ago on this show. There will be a takeover October 4th. That is a Sunday. That will be the second of 2 back-to-back pay-per-view shows we will be deconstructing, with next week being Clash of the Champions, Gold Rush.
Gold Rush.
Thank you. See, you got it already. Solid match with Io Shirai and Shotzi Blackheart. That was an amazing match, and I thought you're going to open with that match. That was a solid match. Io still proves herself as champion, but Shotzi proves herself as somebody that can go, and you could have that match at a takeover. Not in this one. Yeah. I think you saved that for the November takeover the night before Survivor Series.
Wasn't she having the deal where she ran over the guy with the tank or whatever?
That was Robert Stone.
Okay.
Who I thought sold this steel cage pass out very, very well last.
Oh yeah, but him getting that fake. Oh, I'm getting ran over by the tank, and I can't.
I love her. I am such a fan of Shotzi Blackheart. I think she's amazing.
Oh yeah, but
I'm
just
saying,
about
Welcome to the Ball Pit's a little weird for me, but
that little angle they did of him running him over and he's in pain and he can't give me a break.
Don,
I know wrestling.
Thank you. Let's see here. The Ciampa match lasted longer than I thought it would. I thought that was going to be an absolute squash, but that was actually a decent little match.
Oh, yeah.
I'm interested to see where we're going with him, but
now what do you see him doing with Ciampa and stuff like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I really thought they were going to move him up, and then you would have Ciampa Randy Orton, which I really, really want in the worst of ways.
Okay.
Knowing that NXT UK was back this week really took me out of that tag team title match because I didn't think there was any way Imperium was going to win that, knowing that UK was back this week. But I mean, it was nice for what it was, and I'm glad Breezango's still your tag champions.
Oh, I like Breezango. They're funny.
Kyle O'Reilly, voice of reason. Those are two thoughts I never put together.
Now, let me ask. Hold on, I'm checking something just to be sure. Give me 1 second here.
Because I mean, right now you've got the Ciampa's next thing is going to be Jake Atlas, which Jake Atlas I think is a really good. He can really go in the ring. He's got some work to do from a personality standpoint within his gimmick, but I really like the work he's doing, and I think his style and Ciampa's will be interesting to see work off of each other this coming week on NXT. But after that, I don't know what you do with Ciampa just right now.
I just do a double check on the WWE Network. It is Clash of Champions.
Okay, so we got it's now Clash of Champions.
Gold Rush.
Thank you.
I did want to
and that main event for the North American title, Damian Priest and Thatcher, that was a lot better than it had to be.
Oh yeah,
because I'm not a huge Thatcher fan. I liked it. His trunks, the logo looks like Black Flag, and I like that. But I'm not a fan of his style in wrestling. But him and Damian Priest worked a very, very good match, and I was very entertained by it.
Let me ask you: do you like this heel thing they're doing with Ciampa? Or did you keep him face?
I don't know, because like Ciampa makes a great heel, but he also makes a great baby face. And the problem with NXT is right now you have a very small list. Your heel to face ratio is not good.
Yeah, you got Undisputed Era. You got a couple, Robert Stone in his little stable. You don't really of the male side of the roster, the men's roster. How many heels do you got? You got Undisputed. You got
when they're around.
Yeah. Who's the guy just got injured though? The champion had to relinquish, but he's gone now.
Karrion Kross.
Yeah, so he's gone. He can't be a. Keith Lee's out.
You kind of have Killian Dane.
Yeah. So that you have to either move it around because having face versus face a lot of times doesn't work. I hate to say it.
NXT UK was back this week. Did you watch any of it?
No.
Their new studio is pretty awesome.
It's only on the network,
correct.
Right? Okay. All right.
But their new studio looks great.
Okay.
It's at BT Sports.
Okay.
Studio in London, and it looks really awesome. I love the design of their new set. Although the crowd noise I think their crowd was pretty far away because it sounded like there was a happy hour going on at the other side of the studio. Very polite and very British. We have Saxton Huxley. He wants to be let out of a cage that they didn't do the camera right on. So Saxton Huxley wants to be let out of a cage that is just slightly taller than him and has no sides on it. Okay. So he could have just walked around the other end of it and it wouldn't have mattered.
Okay, BT Sports Studios in London.
Yep, that's where they're doing NXT at.
Okay.
Aoife Valkyrie reminds me of evil Danica McKellar.
Don't know who it is, sorry.
You don't know who Danica McKellar is?
No.
Did you watch The Wonder Years? With Fred Savage?
Oh, okay. I thought
you were Winnie Cooper.
Okay, I thought you were talking about a wrestler.
No, the wrestler is Aoife Valkyrie.
Okay.
She reminds me of evil Danica McKellar. It's very strange.
Okay.
And she and Isla Dawn put on a very, very good match this week on NXT. I like both of them very much. I don't know that they're going to translate well to the American audience yet. Okay. But they're great for NXT UK. We also this week Pete Dunne will be on NXT UK as they do the drawings for the Hastings Cup. I think I said that right.
Hastings Cup.
This new tournament that they're doing.
Okay.
There are 7 guys listed. There will be an 8th mystery man who Alex has said he thinks will be Tyler Bate because Tyler Bate is not on the list, although his tag team partner is in Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven. But I enjoy NXT UK from a different aspect than I do of NXT.
It's the Heritage Cup tournament.
Heritage Cup, thank you. Hastings, I think it's a grocery store.
Okay. All right, Heritage Cup.
It will not be involved in Night of Champions. Gold Rush.
Gold Rush.
No, just whisper it. Gold Rush. There you go. Thank you. Some SmackDown notes. Did not realize until the other day. We have the trailer right now for season 2 of The Mandalorian. Sasha Banks will be in it as a Jedi.
Sasha Banks.
Yes, sir. Okay. She is in the trailer. Sasha Banks gets to claim Jedi on her resume now.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I never got the Mandalorian yet because you haven't given me your sign and your user ID.
I'm not giving you my Disney. Sorry.
Why not?
Because only a certain number of people can have it, and that's my in-laws and my brother-in-law. Like, that's the list.
I'll give you $1.
No. Order it yourself. It's $7 a month.
I need therapy.
Like, take what you would normally get at Wendy's and go to the dollar menu, take the difference, and then go get you Disney+.
Well, I already eat off the dollar menu. I'm cheap on that at Wendy's.
Well,
I like the dollar menu. Okay, but let's see. Let's see where could go.
You really need to watch The Mandalorian, though. Like,
okay,
that alone is worth $7 a month.
Okay.
Not to mention, like, Disney Plus will blow your mind.
So, yeah, we'll get to that probably. We'll talk about the Emmys in the other show.
Let's see. Did you know that no one in sports entertainment cares more for their fans than WWE? I'd like to see the paperwork on that, Michael Cole. Michael Cole said those words on SmackDown this week.
And what else did he say? It was something else that was about the, the thousands of people. It's just like, oh, dude.
Like, I like Thunderdome, but let's not take this as the end-all, be-all, okay?
Yeah, you're doing that because of the safety and concern. No, you just don't want a bunch of bare walls in a hockey rink.
And I thought of you during SmackDown this week because I don't know. Did you watch SmackDown?
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed,
yeah.
But during the Grand Metalik Cesaro match, they turned that crowd noise way down. Like, it was faint at best, and I was like, what are we doing here?
And what's the thing is, what was it? NXT was regular NXT on Wednesday. Was that being popped into the booze and all that? I was debating on that.
It was probably a mix of the live crowd.
Yeah, that's
and
what
in.
That's the one thing I wanted to bring up.
I think with NXT they're mixing it because they do have live people there, but I don't think that's all them.
And my thing is that actually a delay on the Thunderdome? Because they could put any kind of graphics they want in the back, and you know how it's. Here's the thing: there's the delay. You know what I do. There's always a delay.
Well, we asked that on the show a couple of weeks ago of how much of a delay are the people in Thunderdome getting? We don't know. The rumors that we have heard is that they're not getting it live. That they're watching at the same time we are.
But even though they're always doing the boo and all that.
Right, but they've just been instructed just to look at their camera and had their laptop near their TV. So I would love to know from someone who has been a part of Thunderdome. If you're watching, please email me, rob@thecheappopcast.com, and let me know. I would love to know the experience of Thunderdome, or maybe, Don, you sign up for Thunderdome.
Okay.
And you report back.
Okay.
I think that's a great assignment for you. Don's going to become part of Thunderdome, and then he's going to report back his Thunderdome experience.
I'll see what happens. I'll put it in.
Dude, no, I think you should.
Why not?
I'm not doing a bit here. I really think you should do this.
Okay. Should I wear my wife beater T-shirt?
No, I think you need to wear that shirt.
Okay. All right.
And see if we get it on TV.
Okay.
All right.
But like.
No.
Should I put like little plugs like?
Nope.
Okay.
No, because then you won't get on TV.
Okay.
Because the whole thing, if you're working a bit, they won't put you on.
Oh, really?
It's got to be you just watching and reacting.
Okay. Can I cheer the heels though?
You can do whatever you want from a cheering standpoint.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's see. And apparently we're going to rip off Razor Sean SummerSlam at Clash of Champions Gold Rush. Because we're going to have both Intercontinental Championships in a ladder match. But it's going to be a triple threat.
What do you mean both Intercontinental?
Because remember, Sami Zayn has been saying he's the real Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, okay.
And Jeff Hardy saying he's the real Intercontinental Champion. And as that was unfolding, I'm like, oh, God, we're going to do this. We're really going to rip off Sean Razor SummerSlam.
Well, ladder match.
But now it's a triple threat because AJ's involved.
Okay.
At Clash of Champions Gold Rush. All right. Did you notice what the main event was on SmackDown, Don?
I forgot. I slept since then.
It was a Samoan street fight.
Oh, yeah.
Have we seen that this week? Have we seen a street fight as a main event this week?
Wasn't there one with the mama? Somebody call your mama?
I think there was.
Brodus Clay?
Yeah.
No, okay.
So we had family involved in it?
Street fight, cars.
205 Live, my only note is Nigel's back.
Really?
Yep, he was back this week. That's my
okay.
only
Hey,
note.
I want to bring up something. Speaking of announcing, is Morrow? Is he gone?
He is no longer with the company. I thank you for reminding me. I forgot to put that in my notes. He has separated from the company as of last week.
Okay, because he hasn't been on for a couple weeks, anyways.
No, but he is no longer with the company, and they have signed Wade Barrett to a deal.
Okay,
so he will be replacing Mauro Ranallo at the desk, and I think he's amazing.
Oh yeah,
at the desk.
His
time with Joe Gallo in NXT in NWA did him a lot of good.
There was that one in England that was there that he was on that too. There was an English league or with global. It was like
something like that. Yeah, him and Walter were part of that, I think. But yeah.
But all right, so what happened with Morrow, anyways?
They're not saying.
Oh, really?
I think that them putting Corey Graves on the takeover before SummerSlam without him knowing. I think that really kind of shook his cage, and he was like, you know what? You guys know that he and I have heat, and I don't want to deal with it. And I respect it.
I'm going to check something what that global was.
We love Mauro Ranallo, and we hope to see him back on our TV soon. But
I'm going to say
I respect a man's convictions, and if that's his convictions,
yeah, I mean, the thing is,
it.
I mean, it's sometimes, okay. I'm not going to knock mental issues in any way, shape, or form.
Rather you didn't.
Okay, and all that stuff. But if sometimes, even if you have mental issues, the world isn't always going to go your way. And
I understand that, Don.
Yeah.
But you also can't walk a mile in someone's shoes in that particular category. And because of that, that's why I'm not touching that whole situation with a 10-foot pole, because I don't think we know enough about that situation to be able to say. And I respect the fact that Morrow knows his limits, if that's the case. We don't even know that that's the case. I know that he went to Canada. There were some family issues he was taking care of, and hey, he may be the caretaker for a family member, and he can't be part of the company. We don't know, so we can't really report on it.
Yeah.
But, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, we love Mauro Ranallo.
Yeah.
I hope to see him back on my TV again soon. I have really come around on him in the last couple of years. I thought SmackDown just wasn't a good place for him.
I hate him as
his work in NXT, I think, was stellar. I think that he adds a really great ambiance to any announced team that he's on in any sport. I loved watching him when he did Showtime Boxing. I thought he was great at the boxing announce table. And I love that he wanted to spread his wings a little bit. And whatever and wherever you wind up, Morrow, we're here for you. We love you, man. It's that simple.
Yeah, you wish the guy the best, but sometimes in business, you're not always, even with, but...
Let's just keep it moving. Go to Ring of Honor because we're running out of time. Kenny King got engaged this week.
Oh, Mazel. Oh, yeah, I saw something like that.
K-I-N-G King. Apparently, I can't remember who posted it, but they were like, they videoed it and said, watch a master at work. And I didn't get to watch the video, but we like Kenny King.
Yeah.
The K-I-N-G King.
I remember seeing him right before Summiversary at the
the first 9 minutes were cut off for me because the Ranger post game on both of my Fox
that's
Sports
going to ask. Yeah, that's what's going
to... Because I saw it on Southwest because my DVR doesn't... I have AT&T TV now, and so I have Fox Sports Southwest and I have Fox Sports Oklahoma. So Southwest had the Rangers post, so I'm like, all right, I'll just delete this and go watch the other one. And Oklahoma was the same thing, so I missed the first 9 minutes. The good news is we didn't miss either match, which I loved both of these matches. David Finlay beat Rocky Romero. Did not see that coming. Then he will face Jay Lethal in the Red Block semifinal. Apparently Will Ferrara is a judge in this thing. He's still in the business.
Yeah, but Lethal's going to win that. I hate to say.
And Matt Sydal beats Delirious. Also did not see that coming, given that he's working for AEW now. But they taped this back in July.
But next round, I think they're probably going to.
I'm hoping, because he's going to face Jonathan Gresham. And I think Gresham and Lethal is your final. I think it's tag champ versus tag champ in the final. The only other thing I have this week is Jeff Cobb has signed with New Japan.
Okay,
so he's going to be with them for a while.
I thought didn't he show up to AEW or whatever?
One episode, but he was a hired gun. He wasn't going to sign that contract. He wants to be able to do whatever he wants, and New Japan gives him that flexibility. So, anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here and take the break before we go to get ready for the clubhouse?
No.
We want to say thank you to each and every one of you that hang out with us each and every week. Alex will be back next week for Clash of Champions Gold Rush. So we will do our normal show, but we're going to start at 5 o'clock Central. So 6 o'clock Eastern the next 2 weeks, because next week is Clash of Champions Gold Rush. Followed by your next NXT TakeOver, which will be October the 4th. So make sure you join us for that. We'll be on for the pre-show. We have a very special guest joining us next week. Not the same guest we had for the last pay-per-view. We have a different guest next week who has already agreed to be here, and I'm very excited to have our guest with us next week. And then we're going to have that taken care of for you. Then we'll be back to Abnormal for a couple of weeks until they announce the next pay-per-view, because we don't have another pay-per-view announced after Clash of Champions Gold Rush. Which I think we're probably still going to get Hell in a Cell, because now that they're at the Amway Center. So you got that going for you. Make sure you follow us on all social media. Look up the Cheap Popcast, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, all of the things. We don't do TikTok or we don't do Snapchat. You can follow me on social media if you like. Everything is Yes That Rob Irvin. That is spelled ERVIN. My normal co-host for this show is Alex Barnhill. You can follow him on social media at Vexploit, VEXPLOIT.
Check out all the shows on the Vocal Now Network, VOKAL, Be Vocal. Also, again,
Anywhere. Be Vocal anywhere.
This awesome shirt. You can get this awesome shirt. See, I'm modeling. You can make it look good. If this can make me look good, it can make you look good. They are at the ProWrestlingTees.com/the Cheap Popcast. Also, my Twitter's at Igbunu, IGBNUUU.
I love that you got the URL right and you didn't get your Twitter handle right. IGBUNUUU. You missed the first U. We are your one-stop shop for all things professional wrestling. Again, thank you, Vocal. We've been here for 2 years now. I can't believe it. I'm looking forward to what the future holds. Thanks to Jay out there in the hallway doing what he does to make the show look and sound so great as it does each and every week. Remember, next week we are on at 6 o'clock Eastern as we get you ready for Clash of Champions Gold Rush. And then we will be deconstructing it with another watch-along. We had so much fun last time, we're going to do it again. So until next week, for Don, for Alex, for the Empire, I'm Rob. This has been the Cheap Popcast on the Vocal Now Network. Good